Call to order the meeting of the Haverford Township Zoning Hearing Board of Thursday, May 16th, 2024. Present at the front table to my far left is Ed McGargy, a voting member.
Hello.
To my left, Ernie Angelos, our solicitor.
Good evening.
My right, Bill Rhodes, a voting member.
Good evening.
Jesse Poyton, voting member. Gary Smith, zoning officer. Jamie Gelosian, Director of Community Development. And I'll come up with so many different titles for you. Don't get mad at me. We have a little fun here. All right, we have, well, one of these is continued, right? Yeah, which one's continued? 15, right? All right, but before we begin, and my name's Robert Kane. Before we begin, Bill, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Please rise if you can, repeat after me. Allegiance to the flag.
Flag, United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right. You get a letter from them, or
Yeah, we got,
I'll just
Yeah.
boot it to you. The first listed case is Z24-15, Jewish Student Enrichment Center, Inc., owner of 780 and 788 College Avenue, Haverford, PA, DC folio number 2204-001340 and 2204-001350, who seeks a special exception from the provisions of Section 18224B to permit a church and place of worship within the residential district. Property is zoned R2, low-density residential, located in the 5th Ward. Ernie?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This matter is actually being continued this evening at the request of the applicant. This was originally, I believe, scheduled for our May 2nd meeting. There was a notice issue resulting in that meeting being canceled. In rescheduling it, we put it on for this evening. However, the applicant, its architect and attorney, reached out to us and indicated that one of their witnesses was not available this evening and requested that we continue this matter to June 6th. I believe we are still within the 60-day time period in which to hold an initial hearing, so I don't believe there is an additional, I don't believe there's a request for an extension needed, but there was a continuous request submitted and was granted.
Okay, so that case is continued to our June 6th hearing. Our first case that we're going to hear tonight is Z24-16, Nicholas and Rebecca Stoyer, owner of 414 Lincoln Avenue, Havertown, PA, DC folio number 2201-008890, who seek a variance from the provisions of Section 182-207C5B to permit an addition to be located 24 feet 6 inches from the right-of-way, when a minimum of 30 feet is required. The property is zoned R5 and located in the 1st Ward. Nicholas and Rebecca, come on up. Hi.
Hi, good evening.
Ladies first, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And your full name and address for the record, please?
Rebecca Stoyer, 414 Lincoln Avenue.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
And your full name and address for the record, please?
Nicholas Stoyer, 414 Lincoln Avenue.
Okay, so you submitted an application to the township that has plans and whatever else that is attached. If you're going to refer to them throughout your case or at all during your case, they need to be marked as exhibits, identified, and moved into the record. So do you have any documents that you want us to look at? Probably.
Correct. We also have our architect on record with us, Ken Purdy.
Okay, how you doing, Ken?
How are
Are
you?
you going to present the case, or are they going to do it?
I can represent the case.
Okay. Let me swear you too then, Ken. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And your full name and the capacity in which you appear?
Kent G. Purdy, architect. P as in Paul, U-R-D-Y.
And are you familiar with the exhibit marking process and everything?
Yes.
Do you have more than,
Let's go off the record. Jeff, we'll go off. You help him. All right, so we took a brief break so Ernie could help you mark the exhibits. So you have copies?
Yes.
Okay. So A1 will,
A1 is the deed.
is the deed. A2?
A2 is sheet A01, which is the site plot plans and zoning abstract,
Okay, and A3 is the petition.
is the petition.
And the petition is signed by neighbors who are in support of the application, correct?
That's correct.
Correct. They are all the surrounding houses around us.
So those exhibits are admitted into the record. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what they would like to do and why, Ken.
So why don't we, Mr. Chairman, would you like to have that initially from the applicants, or would you prefer that from
I thought he
Mr.
was
Purdy?
gonna put the case on.
Can, but I would like to ask him in that case just to qualify him just briefly, if that makes sense.
Give an expert testimony.
I'm assuming he's given expert testimony as an architect.
I have several times and 3 times in front of this board.
Just go over your licensing real quick and education.
Again, name is Kent Purdy. My education, I went to Drexel University, graduated with a Bachelor of Architecture degree in 1994. I currently have my own practice, Purdy Architecture and Design, and I've been practicing architecture for over 20 years.
And the applicant would, I'm assume, like to have Mr. Purdy qualified as an expert in zoning and architecture, correct?
Correct.
All right. Any questions or objections from board members? Okay, Kent is admitted as an expert in architecture. So, do you want to present the case, or do you want me to ask them to?
They would like to speak on behalf of their hardships and, some of the reasons why we're requesting this variance, just as far as how they operate within their own home.
Okay.
Sure.
Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what you would like to do and why?
We are looking to add an addition to the 1,600 square foot home, mostly because of our growing family. We are both work at home employees and don't currently have any space for offices. So we're looking for the additional push for that, as well as we have a mother-in-law with progressive cognitive impairment, and we are adding a bedroom in the regards that she'll probably end up with us in the near term.
Rebecca, do you have anything you want to add?
No, he got all of it. Yeah. Agreed. Good job.
So, you want to add anything, Kent, before we
To
go
tell you
to?
about the addition,
Yeah.
They've located the office for Rebecca on the first floor on a quiet side of the home to the left of their existing front porch, and that's pushing out the front. She needs it to be on that side, for the quiet side of the home, but also to be able to see deliveries coming for her company. Nicholas's office is on the second floor on the front end of the addition on the right side, and that also, will have visibility to the front yard as well. This addition, is mostly in the side yard and does not encroach onto Virginia. This is only an encroachment onto the front yard of Lincoln Avenue. And we're only asking for 5 foot 6 inches into the existing front yard setback, which aligns with their existing front porch. It doesn't go beyond that.
So their front porch is currently a pre-existing non-conformity?
Correct.
Is it covered?
No.
The porch
Oh,
is covered.
not enclosed.
it's not enclosed. I'm sorry. It is covered. It is not enclosed.
And so there's a roof over the entire depth of the porch?
Yes, sir.
Doesn't that count then? Gary?
Yes, if it's covered, that's basically considered the front of the house.
Right. It's an encroachment.
Yeah, because that's just listed as existing porch. I was under the impression that was not covered.
Go ahead, Bill, do you have questions?
No, I think that
That's why I asked.
the upshot of this question is that there is an existing nonconformity of the front yard setback.
Correct.
And he's not extending it any further than what the porch currently sits.
That's correct.
Ed?
Do we have any examples you can offer us of what it's going to look like from the front?
I do. I could offer a second exhibit.
Fourth exhibit.
Yeah,
Fourth exhibit, sorry. The second page on these shows the elevations and shows the layout.
And you want to mark them and identify them.
Yeah, so for the record, the applicant is submitting a fourth
Thank you.
exhibit, we'll mark as exhibit A4. It is the front elevations and first floor and second floor proposed plan layout, and is marked A0.2. Again, we'll mark that as exhibit A4.
On A4, we're looking at the front of the existing porch. It's currently a porch, and will you agree to a condition that you would never enclose that?
Yes.
Yes.
As for utilities on that existing porch, are there any utilities on there now?
I believe you have one duplex outlet on
That's
the
right.
porch.
That's right.
Correct.
Do you have any testimony that you can provide about the other houses in the neighborhood, about being, how far they're setting back? Is this going to be a unique condition?
It will be unique that this is a corner lot, and they have a little more room to expand on the Virginia Ave side of the home, where a lot of others, you know, are mid-block lots, and so they can't expand in that direction. But as far as the front of the home, there's many homes on the blocks of Lincoln, Virginia, Maryland behind that have porches that encroach into the front yard setbacks. This is a common component of that neighborhood.
But those are one-story
No,
porches?
one-story porches, yes.
So, and so based on the front elevation, you're now doing far more front porch than the front yard setback. Right now, you're building an addition on the other side, 2 stories tall, both projecting into the front yard setback, albeit not further than the existing porch, but you are widening the current nonconformity by
correct.
almost 200%.
That's correct. You have 11 foot 8 inches wide on the left-hand side of the porch, and I believe it's 15 foot 8 inches wide on the right-hand side.
The 2 additions on either side of the porch will be 2 stories. The porch will only still be 1 story?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. I have no other questions.
Jesse?
So there's quite a bit of room in the rear yard. Was the rear yard explored for the addition so that it wouldn't have to go into the Lincoln Drive side?
Yes, we did explore that. However, it would mean, you know, a significant redesign of the existing home. Plus, we would have to remove the existing rear deck and rebuild that. We would need significant stormwater if we start going back there because of just the way the existing flows in the rear yards of that block work. And they currently flow through their rear yard down towards Virginia Drive. So there would be a significant increase in scope associated with that. And then also the need to have the offices up front would mean a significant redesign of their existing home.
What was the reason that the offices need to be in the front?
To be able,
For working at home, one of the is like getting certified deliveries and things like that are needed for work, as well as, you know, having them on the. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, when the kids get home off the bus, I prefer to be, you know, looking and seeing them to get off the bus so that I can have them, you know, not in a different area of the home.
How often are deliveries being, commercial deliveries being made to the house?
Regularly. It's not, I mean, it's through, I work for a restaurant group, so you know, I'm remote, so I do get stuff regularly. Nothing large coming off a massive truck or anything like that.
Things that require you to sign?
Yes.
Is this the minimum relief that you would require? As far as into the Lincoln side?
Yeah, this is the maximum relief that we would need. We don't need any more than this.
He's asking, go ahead, Jeff.
Well, we always, you know, the hardship has to be based
Minimum.
on the minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
The minimum amount to accomplish, to overcome the hardship.
Yes.
Yes,
So is
Yes,
this the
correct.
minimum?
minimum.
And that's due to create the size of the office that would be needed.
Correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Are you still maintaining 2 off-street parking spaces? Because there looks like there's some reconfiguration of perhaps the existing garage or driveway.
That is correct. If you look at the new site plan on Exhibit A, we are showing an additional parking space to the left side of the driveway to allow them to accommodate 2 cars on their lot.
Okay. And so you would not have to move one car in order to get the other car out, right?
You would. In this case, we are not widening the curb cut. We are keeping the curb cut the way it is.
But just to clarify, by projecting into your existing driveway, you're saying that you can no longer fit 2 cars off the street?
Correct. We would, that's why we have to do that side parking space.
Could you describe the proposed materials for the addition? The Exhibit A4 seems to indicate siding, but could you clarify that for the record and describe any other materials and how they might be in keeping with the existing house and neighborhood?
Yes. You know, most of these homes are brick and siding combination in this neighborhood. And what we've done is we've created a brick water table at the base of the additions. The brick will match the existing home in color and, you know, size of the brick. And we will wrap that around the front and the sides of the additions. And then from that water table up, we are proposing siding going up, and on the front, we have 2 turn gables. So we have, you know, roof on the front of that, as well as, you know, vertical board and batten siding up in the gables. And then when you look on the Virginia Ave elevation, same thing. We have the brick water table running down the side, and then the siding up from there up to the eave line. And then within the eave, again, more board and batten siding on that gable. So, you know, we looked at different ways of, you know, scaling this to a point that would work with the neighborhood, work with the style of their home, and we felt that this was the best design option.
Is that it, Jeff?
I don't have any other questions.
Billy?
So it looks like based on your zoning abstract that you have, you're well under your maximum building height, right? So, and the house looks like it's 2-story with a 3rd-story attic currently. Why not go up?
Again, you know, we would have to reconfigure a lot more than what we're doing to be able to go up and take that up another floor, you know, within the existing footprint. And again, we didn't want to, you know, recreate their entire living space on the first floor, you know, with the office space that they need on the one end of the home. The homes are small to begin with, and if we want to keep the office there, that's why, you know, we decided to push out the front in lieu of going up to the third.
Okay, and I just, obviously, we just got A4, so we didn't have the benefit of kind of looking at it ahead of time. The second floor plan proposed is 4-bedroom. What is it currently?
3.
Great. And so how does it go from 3 to 4 now if really what you're adding is, I guess it's a new master bath and a new, office for you, Nick, right?
Correct.
So, is any of the rest of the upstairs layout changing currently, the current layout?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bedroom number 3 actually gets smaller because we are creating a hallway next to the stair that goes to the new bedroom number 4 at the end of the stairwell.
Okay.
Which would be the bathroom and everything live-in for mother-in-law.
So the bedroom 4 and that ensuite and the dressing room and the office are all being added,
Correct.
right? And as well as the bath over,
There
Rebecca's.
is an existing bathroom there.
But it'll just get a little bigger.
That's right.
Correct.
Yep, okay. And the proposed widening of the driveway, is there a gap between the property line and the edge of that driveway? That's not a shared driveway, right?
No.
Right, so is there any proposed gap between, like a grass buffer or anything?
There isn't now. I mean, and what we've proposed here, you're literally a few inches off of the property line in order to allow a parking space of 8 feet wide.
So it's not grass now?
It's grass now, yes.
So you want to put a full 8-foot wide driveway right up to the property line?
Correct.
And the property owner on that side is what house number?
412.
412. So you didn't prepare us with a topographical map, right, showing the lot and the way, the way the water will run. So what your testimony, Kent, is currently is that the property slopes front to back. Is that right?
It's a combination. The backyard slopes more from the side yard of 412 towards Virginia. But
Or,
once-
no, yeah, Virginia, correct.
Towards Virginia.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the front of the house, the slopes come towards Lincoln. So there's a high point.
So, okay, because I thought you had testified that the expanding into the back was going to exacerbate runoff towards the back of the property line.
Yes, it would exacerbate runoff, but currently this lot picks up the uphill runoff from the other parcels, and it runs through their backyard towards Virginia.
Correct.
Okay, so when we're dealing with a corner lot, so we have to be careful
Yes.
about, you considering that the property opposite of Lincoln is the backyard, is the properties behind the house, is that what you mean? So it's the property, the water is running down Virginia Road, and the neighbors behind you on Virginia are
It runs between the two houses in the backyard.
Like down the rear fence line
Yeah.
between the properties on Lincoln and Maryland, okay?
well, you don't show me where Maryland is, so,
Okay.
right.
On our running west to east.
Yeah,
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so you're saying it slopes from 412 Lincoln towards Virginia,
correct.
and it slopes from the property behind you towards, I'm sorry, it slopes from 412 to Virginia, and it slopes from behind your property to Lincoln also, so is it running in both directions?
Yes. Yeah, it's like a double fall line.
And so how is, okay, I got it. So why would going out back create more water problems for you? It's because right now the water is somehow escaping across your backyard onto Virginia,
Correct.
and you're worried that it would end up in the basement or on the slab?
Foundation, yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
there'd be a lot more work back there to accommodate that and get the water out and around in addition in the backyard.
And so I'm still trying to figure out what about the property or the currently configuration of the property or anything else constitutes the hardship here? Because we have to evaluate the hardship, right? That's the standard that we have to look at. So what is the hardship?
Well, the hardship is if we push her offices to the back in a new addition there, then she can't see, the front.
Well, what's the hardship for this, that is resulting in the request for this variance?
The hardship is, wanting to build the addition on the front of the home to avoid some of these other issues, which would result in significant cost increase at the back of the home.
So is it fair to say that your view is that this proposal, the hardship associated with this is that you would have more hardships, cost or whatever, with any other proposal?
Correct.
So,
But what leads you to come to put an addition on your house
at all?
at all? And I thought I heard them say mother.
Well, yeah, correct.
Mother-in-law is gonna come live with them.
Right.
And how many children do you have?
2.
2.
So they need 4 bedrooms.
Right, and so, but typically the hardship is tied to some extent to the property itself, rather than when we're doing with dimensional variances like this. Ernie, I don't want to, if I'm stating it wrong.
No, I think a hardship can exist if one's looking at it to the extent that there are significant cost increases, alternative approach. I heard testimony that there would be more stormwater management that would need to be required if they were to go out back. There would be a removal of an existing deck, or at least a portion of it that I presume, maybe the whole thing and a reconfiguration of that. It sounds to me like there was impetus for the addition was the need for the space. Anybody can technically add to the property. It is a reasonable use of the property, provided obviously within zoning regulations. In this instance, I believe the applicant's testimony was that the alternative approach would have increased costs, therefore providing a hardship on them tied to the land based on the configuration and need for stormwater management. Therefore, the proposed addition was to the front of the property. You're well under your building.
Yeah.
Building. You're the 30% covered requirement. You're at 21%. What's the percentage, if you know, I'll put you on the spot, what's the percentage of the encroachment, the entire addition?
The encroachment is.
How much is the percentage, just what you're encroaching on compared to the entire addition that you're adding?
Would be at, it's about 160 to 180 square feet, which would be less than 1%.
So, almost 99% of the additions within.
Correct.
I don't have any other questions, thank you.
6 and 8.
So, yeah.
I'll take that one.
Thank you. Actually,
So they're gonna get dropped off by the bus.
That's right.
Well, I'll ask one more question. So you gave us a petition with about 9 neighbors, and it seemed like one included the immediate next door neighbor, 412?
Yes.
That's on the list?
correct.
Okay.
Well, you were leaving some meat on the bone for the chairman there, Jesse.
Oh, all right,
I'm
sorry.
gonna have to start usurping all of you and asking every question.
Do you have any other questions on the list?
No, go ahead.
Was there anybody who you spoke to who was opposed that you're aware of?
No.
No, everyone that we spoke to was in support.
Okay, great. No other questions, Mr. Chairman?
Ed, good?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you guys would like to add?
No, thanks for your time.
You'd like to add?
Nothing more.
All right, with that, I'll ask if there's anyone present that received certified mail that wishes to testify, anyone present that received regular mail, any other residents of Haverford Township. With that, we'll close the record on this case, and a decision will be rendered either this evening. In the event we're unable to render a decision this evening, we could do it next week, right? We'll render the decision next Thursday. at the commencement of a special hearing that we have. And what's next Thursday's date?
It is the 23rd.
23rd.
Which means it would be rendered on May 23rd, if we're unable to do it tonight.
You can wait if you want to see if the board does it. If you wanted to leave, you could reach out to Gary. Are you in tomorrow, Gary? Okay, Tuesday.
Oh, wait.
Stay for now, yeah. Oh, wait.
If it is rendered, I'll be getting out a letter in the mail to you first thing tomorrow advising, probably get, hopefully over the weekend. But definitely in advance of Thursday, so. should
I
know.
have.
If not, March, if you reach March, yeah, you can call the township tomorrow and somebody will be able to let you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're fine waiting.
But we have one more case.
Yeah, no worries. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna take 5 off the record. Jeff? All right, our next case is Z2417, Michael and Kimberly Maloney, owners of 2624 St. David's Lane, Ardmore, PA, DC folio number 2203-0197300, who seek a variance from the provisions of section 18224C4 to permit an addition that will increase the building coverage from 24.9% to 27.1%, and a special exception from provisions of section 182-802B1 to permit the expansion of a non-conforming structure by adding 2 additions to the rear of the dwelling that is non-conforming in regard to the front, side, and rear yard setbacks and the building coverage. Property is zoned R2, low-density residential, located in the 3rd Ward. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And your full name and address for the record, please?
Michael Maloney, 2624 St. David's Lane, Ardmore.
So if you have some exhibits that you want to identify, mark, which they've already been marked.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Ernie. Identify and move into the record, right?
Yes, sir.
So what exhibits are they that you have? You want to run through them?
Yeah, I'll run through, Mr. Chairman. So the applicant has 4 exhibits that we pre-marked. Exhibit A1 is a copy of the deed to the property. Exhibit A2 is the proposed zoning plan showing the additions and the existing site area. A3 are front and, rear and side elevation of the proposed addition. And A4 is the floor plan.
Michael, tell us what you would like to do.
Sure. So we would like to do a small bump out, approximately 13 feet wide and 4 feet deep, to expand our kitchen. So right now, we're trying to create a larger kitchen just to redo it and modernize it, but also create an area that we can eat together as a family, my wife and I and our 3 children. In addition to that, we would like to create a small screened-in porch off the side. The dimensions are approximately 10 by 16, and that would be off our back family room, just to create, additional living space for our family to enjoy and eat dinner and whatnot when the weather's nice.
How many children do you have?
3 children.
How
So
old?
8, 5, and 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I have 2 dogs too. One's about 150 pounds, so it's big to hear in all my kids. Yeah.
Jesse? You stop. If he had more to add, I'm happy to hear it.
So you are increasing the building coverage by about 2%, and it's already over by almost 5%, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the existing lot is smaller than what is required by zoning, so I think by default, we're already over.
I was going to ask you about that. So do you know what's required for the zoning? So this is, I guess we're referring to, Ernie, was this A2, the zoning plans?
Yes.
Okay. so I think it's required, your lot is required in the R2 to be 10,125 square feet. And it says here that it exists at 9,265 square feet. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's about roughly, you're short roughly 850 square feet, give or take?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you had a conforming lot, you would be much closer to meeting the building and impervious coverage, is that right? Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And did I read that you're actually reducing the overall impervious surface?
Yes, so there's paved driveway in the backyard, so we're gonna remove some of that just to kind of help with some of our ratios. So some of the back concrete's gonna be removed and asphalt as well.
And you might have heard in our previous case, I asked, are you still able to maintain 2 off-street parking spaces that are 9 foot by 18 foot?
Yes, we're gonna maintain, I don't know the exact, just trying to look at the existing driveway is gonna stay in place, so it's approximately, yes, it will, so it's 9 feet 2 feet wide, and then we can park approximately 3 cars or so in the driveway.
Okay. And so the location of the proposed screened-in porch, where it says, actually says on the zoning plan, sunroom, it's currently a concrete patio, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you're removing the concrete patio and building a enclosed sunroom?
Correct, yeah, screened in sunroom.
And is that proposed sunroom any closer to the setback line than your house is now?
It is, I believe it's approximately, that existing structure, we're about, right now it's about 15 feet, plus or minus from the existing setback, it looks like.
Well, there's actually one dimension that says 14.1, maybe where it bumps out.
Yeah, that's after the bump out. Yeah, I'm just looking at it, what it is right now, and then, so it'll be 14.1.
Okay, and then what you're proposing is actually 15.4, so it's actually is that right? It's not any closer to the setback?
The 15.4 is what's existing today, and so we'll be 14.1, so we're taking it out.
I think it's the opposite of that, right? If I'm reading this right, I think where the bump out is now, it's 14.1. And again, for the record, I'm referring to Exhibit A2.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at the existing plan. You're correct. Yeah, so we're keeping it roughly the same for what I'm looking at, but we're expanding it wider. So my apologies.
Okay, right. So yeah, so the existing concrete patio is going to be removed, and the proposed sunroom will be built in its place. It's a little bit wider, but it's actually a little bit further away from the setback than the existing house at its worst condition.
Correct.
Okay, just want to make sure we have a clear record. I don't have any other questions.
Bill?
Hi, Michael. So it looks like this little bump out, I think, which is for your kitchen, the proposed addition, that's currently asphalted, that's going, right?
It's currently asphalted.
And are you gonna take out that overall piece of asphalt, or just these 3 little hashed rectangles?
So the 3 hashed rectangles will come out, correct?
And then where the playground is that asphalt too?
That's not, that's just grass.
Okay. And so where your AC compressors are, which is marked concrete, the building is you're going to leave that concrete there.
Correct.
And those AC units would stay there. They're not getting relocated somewhere into a side yard or anything.
Correct, yeah.
And did this house ever have a garage?
It did, yeah, it still does to this day. So the garage, we would maintain the garage, we would just make it slightly smaller.
All right, maybe I missed it. So where is the garage?
So, if you can, I can show you on. Sorry, this is the small one. Right here. So here's
What exhibit? Is it the site plan, or is it, you're looking at the floor plan?
Yeah.
So exhibit A4.
So, okay, A4. So where it says a proposed garage door, so now you're gonna add a garage door, is that right?
There's a garage door there. Essentially, this would be keeping the garage in the same spot, but we would do, the opening, I think, is getting a little bit smaller.
Okay. So I did have, on some of these, it's a little hard to orient, the plot plan from the floor plans. So you drive you drive down along the side of the house to the rear of the house to pull into the garage from the back?
Right now, it's filled to the brim with kid stuff, so we don't utilize it.
Yeah, right, but that, in
But
theory,
in theory, that's what that's
Yeah.
what we did like one time.
okay.
So
The-
maybe in the future,
The first
when
day
our
you
kids
moved
are
in,
older.
right.
So it would
They'll
actually,
never take their stuff in.
Yeah, probably.
but for zoning purposes, it would technically count as one of your off-street parking spaces, right? And,
Yes,
but you
sir.
said you could still fit 3 in the driveway.
In the driveway,
Okay.
and we could even fit more in probably in the back.
So you're well covered on off-street parking. You're only required to have 2,
Yes.
so, okay.
Okay. So you're taking out those 3 rectangular little pieces, you're getting rid of, well, you're moving the playhouse, so you might as well clean out the garage while you're doing it, right? You could just tell them it's just the playhouse and then fill that with the stuff in the garage and have it hauled away. Okay, and so effectively, the only, coverage change is that you are widening, but within your setback.
Yeah.
The current patio, is that a covered patio or just a?
It's not covered.
It's not covered,
no.
okay. It's taking a concrete patio, widening it without going further into the side yard.
Exactly.
On either side, a couple feet. Does that
Exactly.
sound right? And then, and that is a 2-story sunroom? Is it a 2-story addition?
No, it's going to be a 1-story.
Is that part of the house only 1 story anyway?
No, that part is that's a 2-story part of the house in the back.
Yeah. So it's just a 1-story screen porch off the family room that you're adding.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I have any other questions, thanks.
Ed?
Yeah, if you could elaborate, please. Sunroom has a different connotation in my mind. I'm thinking sunroom as a room with windows and screens, and it could be known as a 3-season room. So are you just talking about a covered porch with screens?
Covered porch with screens. So we'll do it. I think the idea with kids and the dogs, what we would kind of build, call it like a half wall, and the rest would be screens. So like a knee wall, if you will, up to, probably 3 feet, and then the remainder would be like screens and a door going into the backyard.
Would you agree to a condition that you wouldn't enclose it further?
Yeah.
Would you agree about utilities? Is there any other utilities on that port?
We would have electric.
Electric only?
Yeah.
Okay. You did explore trying to reduce the impervious coverage so you didn't increase it. So that asphalt that you removed, can you explain that process, how you came about removing those pieces of asphalt?
So the asphalt that's existing there, so that back piece, it was an expansion that was done by the previous homeowner, just to, I think, make it a little bit easier to park, an additional car in the back. So right now, we're just taking that out. We would cut that out. It's easy enough. And we have plantings back there. We have some shrubs and whatnot. So, we were planning to get rid of that just to make it look nicer. And then up against the house, there's some additional concrete and asphalt in the back. So we would remove that, replace that with grass, maybe some additional plantings.
Okay. And kind of related with the front covered porch, that's not enclosed, is it?
That's a screened porch, but it only has space for just like a couple seats.
Okay. No other questions?
Okay, did you talk to your neighbors about this at all?
Yeah, so I talked to the neighbors on kind of either they're directly to the left of us and directly to the right of us, and they're in agreement.
I had one more question. The wood fence, it looks like it comes down to the pin in the corner, but it has some weird, it juts in a little bit and it runs at an angle off the property line towards your house.
Yes.
You know, the township certainly prefers that fences like that be on the property line
Yes.
because you create a no man's land.
Yeah.
Right? And which is you essentially giving up some of your land but then it becomes very hard to maintain.
Yep.
You know, have you thought about when you're doing this project, at least on the rear and on the side where near your proposed new sunroom, bringing that fence onto the property line where it really should have been?
So we put that in a couple of years ago, and we did it as, so our next door, if you're looking at our house to the left, they're really nice people. They had like nice plantings. They take great pride in their house. And so, you know, I would probably put it on the property line. My wife said, you know what, let's not, like, we want to rip up their stuff. And, you know, they love it. So, and we did it in a way where to the eye, you can't even tell. I mean, this looks like it's a slanted, you know, fence. To the eye, you can't even tell. So.
Yeah, it looks like it's roughly, 3 feet wide up closest to the side of your house that juts into your side yard the most, but then it tapers down to nothing. So
Yeah.
it gets to the point where it can't be maintained, right?
Yeah.
Unless your neighbor's doing it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Is that it, Billy?
Yep.
Jess, you have anything else? Okay. Anything else you would like to add, Mike?
No, that's all I have.
With that, I'll ask if there's anyone present that received certified mail that wishes to testify. Please come up. Hello. Hi. Please raise your right hand, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And your full name and address, please?
Is John Kenneth Graham, and we're at 2621 Bala Lane, so at the property behind Bala, yeah.
B-A-L-A. Okay, what would you like to tell us, John?
Just this is the first we've heard about it, so obviously, you know, the work that's going on and the extension into the back. Reading what was actually notified for us, we couldn't tell what was happening, so that's the reason we came along. It all sounds very reasonable, but you know, will the exhibits that you've got from this, are they going to be added to like minutes of the meeting or something? So, okay, so could you please clarify how far back into the? Oh yeah, please.
You know what, if you want, we'll take a couple-minute break. We'll just go off the record, so you two can talk and he can show you the plans.
Yeah, sure.
So, all right, we'll go off the record, Jeff, please. Okay, John, did you have an opportunity to speak with Michael and look at the plans?
Yes, I'd like to thank him for walking us through it. This, you know, we got a shock of our lives when we had the certified letter that we had to sign our names, and then what are these variances and non-conformances and stuff? But
Well, do you
no, it all
understand?
sounds very reasonable.
Okay, so would you say you're in favor or opposed?
Well, certainly have no objection to it.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, please go ahead and good luck. Thank you. Thanks.
Is there anyone else that received certified mail? Anyone that received regular mail? Any other residents of Haverford Township? With that, we'll close the record on this case, and a decision will be rendered either this evening. In the event we're unable to render a decision this evening, one will be rendered at our next hearing, which is next Thursday, a special hearing. Help me with the dates, you know,
My third.
May 23rd, but it's most likely we'll be able to do it tonight. And Jeff, I'm sorry to drive you crazy tonight, but now we're off the record again.
Back on.
All right. With respect to KZ 24-16, Nicholas and Rebecca Stoyer, Ed, are you prepared to vote?
Yes, I am.
Bill?
I am.
Jesse?
Yes.
So am I. And Ed, you want to take that decision?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I vote to approve the requested variance with the following condition. 1, the front porch will not be enclosed. 2, electric will be the only utility. 3, stormwater will be managed to not impact neighboring properties. 4, the project will be completed within 1 year of final approval. And 5, the project will be completed in compliance with the notes of testimony.
Ed, just one clarification, the electric only, that's for the front porch?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Bill?
I agree.
Jesse?
Agree.
And so do I. That application is approved 4-0. Good luck. With respect to case Z 24-17, Michael and Kimberly Maloney. Jesse, will you please take that decision?
Is everybody ready to vote on that one?
I am.
Okay. Stepping on your toes again, Bob. Mr. Chairman, I would vote,
Nice till I'm not, Jesse.
I would vote to approve the requested relief with the following condition, that rainwater shall be managed so as not to adversely impact neighbors. The project shall be completed within 1 year and in accordance with the notes of testimony.
Bill?
I agree.
Ed?
Concur.
So do I. That application is approved 4-0. Good luck. Tell your wife she missed a very exciting meeting.
Do we need to do minutes?
Yep,
Minutes.
we're not adjourned yet. Ed?
Yep.
All right, any administrative matters that need to be addressed? Ed?
Yes. In the absence of Jessica, our secretary, I would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes from April 18th, 2024, as distributed.
I'll second that.
I'll abstain. I was not at that meeting.
Okay, let's do a voice vote then. Ed? Obviously.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are moved. See you guys next Thursday.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're adjourned.